Panda. I got broads in Atlanta. Just took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Hitting the licks in the band. Legacies.
I want to welcome you back to Black Site, and I want to talk to you about a young man, Kawhi Leonard. And he's a special young black man who's going to lead the Toronto Raptors to their first NBA championship and end the Golden State Warriors dynasty. Kawhi Leonard was a young man who came in the league as a San Antonio Spur. He grew as a young man under the Spurs, led them to a championship, became a Finals MVP. But as his career went on, he had an injury in which everybody vilified this young man for having this injury. The San Antonio training staff, the head coach, even his players, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, vilified this young man. So he asked to be traded. And he was traded. He was traded to the Toronto Raptors, in which another brother, GM for the Toronto Raptors, put his whole cards in the middle of the table. He said, I'll trade DeMar DeRozan, another all-star, for Kawhi Leonard, in which everybody thought that he would only have Kawhi Leonard for a year and his plan would fail. But let me tell you something about a young man like Kawhi Leonard. A man who was mocked by the media, by his fellow teammates at San Antonio. He's a young man who says very little. He lives a modest lifestyle. He's an extremely modest man. In a society when those who talk the loudest, like our president, those who are the most flamboyant, like many of our rappers and entertainers, he goes the other way. He's similar to what Teddy Roosevelt said, speak softly, carry a big stick. And Kawhi Leonard has been this young man. Ever since going to Toronto, he has been a great teammate to his fellow teammates. They have nothing but nice things to say about this man. When he's on the court, he gives you 150%. You don't see him doing a lot of trash talking. He just goes out and plays his game. And the whole thing about this is that his revenge is going to be against the team in which he got an injury against right before their dynasty started. Kawhi Leonard was having a tremendous game against Golden State, and they were leading by about 20 points. He goes out during that series. San Antonio never responded. Golden State wins and wins a championship. But now Kawhi Leonard will be the young man who ends their dynasty. And to me, this is the crowning achievement of this young man's life, because no one thought that he was going to be able to lead this franchise up north to a championship. For those in the media like Skip Bayless, his former head coach, Greg Popovich, his fellow teammates with San Antonio, who derided him for sitting out for injury, was it worth it? They should have just listened to this young man, because we in the society don't want to listen to people who don't talk loud, who don't act in a certain way. But when this young man is healthy, which you've seen with the Toronto Raptors, he is leading them to a championship. Was it worth it, Greg Popovich? You could have sat him out for 2 seasons, but you could have got this in return, a championship. And let's see if this young man who says he might stay in Toronto will shock the world again. Masai Ujiri, who put his cards on the table and believing in this young man. Will he get rewarded for his belief? See, everybody wants to be the star, but not Kawhi Leonard. When they ask Kawhi Leonard about his play, he talks about the team. He's not on Twitter. He's not on Instagram flashing. He's just being that quiet young man that he has always been. Not seeking attention. Not wanting to do an interview every 5 minutes. But just wanting to be a good man, a good citizen, a good NBA player, and doing his job well. To me, it's so exciting to see a young man like this reach his pinnacle, in which everybody will have to bow down and praise this quiet young man who has so much talent in a game that's full of talent, but full of young men who seek the attention that he does not want. It is a great thing to see an athlete like Kawhi Leonard. He's just that guy that really no one should hate. But he has his haters out there, and I don't know why. Kawhi Leonard is the best NBA player on the planet. We have seen it. Everyone has seen it. And let the claw have his day. And in Toronto, they will be celebrating their first NBA championship. Who would have thought that a town that is built on hockey, haven't won since 1968, will be celebrating their first NBA championship? Because, to me, of the gentle giant, the claw, Kawhi Leonard. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site, underground news that you can use. I hope you subscribe to this channel, smash the like button, and share the video.